Did you actually know what your dog is doing with their nose every single second they're breathing? Most owners think a wet nose means their dog is healthy. It's one of those facts that gets passed around like it's gospel. What's actually happening inside that nose is something most people have never been told. It changes how your dog reads danger, how they process the people around them, and how they feel about you versus a complete stranger. By the end of this video, you will never see your dog sniffing the same way again. Here is what is really going on. 1. The wet nose is not a health signal. It is an active biochemical tool. Every dog owner has heard this. Wet nose, healthy dog. Dry nose, something is wrong. It gets repeated at the dog park, at the vet, by well-meaning people everywhere. And it is completely wrong. A dog's nose can be dry after a nap and be perfectly healthy. A dog can have a wet nose and be seriously ill. The wetness tells you almost nothing about their health. What it does tell you is something far more interesting. Your dog's nose is wet because it is built to be wet. The surface of a dog's nose contains specialized glands that continuously secrete a thin, precisely formulated layer of mucus. This is not sweat. This is not random moisture. This mucus has a specific chemical structure designed to trap airborne scent particles the moment they contact the nasal surface. Think of it as a microscopic biochemical net, always active, always collecting, always analyzing. Dogs have between 100 and 300 million olfactory receptors, depending on the breed. Humans have around 6 million. But receptor count alone is not the whole story. The mucus layer is what makes those receptors function at peak efficiency. Without it, scent molecules drift past without binding. With it, they are captured and held in place, allowing the receptors to register chemical information at vanishingly low concentrations. But it does not stop there. Once those particles are captured, your dog licks their nose. And that is not anxiety. That is not habit. That is a deliberate biological transfer. When your dog licks their nose, they are moving captured scent molecules from the nasal surface directly to a secondary organ on the roof of their mouth called the voronasal organ, also known as Jacobson's organ. This organ bypasses ordinary smell entirely and sends chemical signals straight to the brain regions that process emotion, memory, and social bonding. Your dog sniffs to collect. They lick to analyze. 2 stages, 1 seamless system, and it happens every single time. Stay with me, because what comes next changes everything. 2. Your dog's left and right nostrils are doing completely different jobs. Most people assume both nostrils work the same way. They do not, and the science behind this is something that most dog owners have never heard. Researchers studying canine olfaction discovered that the left nostril and the right nostril in a dog's nose preferentially process different categories of chemical information. They are not duplicates. They are 2 separate channels running simultaneously, each reporting to different regions of the brain. The right nostril primarily responds to familiar, safe, and positively associated scents. Your scent, your family's scent, the smell of their food and their environment. When the right nostril leads the sniff, signals travel toward the brain's reward pathways, the regions linked to comfort, safety, and recognition. Your dog's system registers the message: known, safe, welcome here. The left nostril functions differently. It preferentially responds to unfamiliar, novel, or potentially threatening scents, and those signals are routed toward the amygdala, the brain's threat detection and fear processing center. When the left nostril leads, the brain enters assessment mode. Something unrecognized has been detected. Evaluation begins. This means your dog is running a dual-channel security scan with every single breath, one nostril confirming safety, the other scanning for threat. Not one after the other, both at once. And your dog is not making a conscious decision to do this. The architecture of their nose is doing it automatically, every moment of every day. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition documented this nostril lateralization in dogs across multiple controlled conditions. Dogs consistently led with the left nostril when approaching unfamiliar people and objects. When approaching their bonded owner or familiar environments, right nostril engagement was significantly more dominant. The pattern was consistent across breeds and ages. 3. Here is what you can watch for right now, at home. This is where the science stops being abstract and becomes something you can see with your own eyes. The next time a stranger approaches your dog, watch the nose. Watch which side flares first. Watch which nostril leads. If your dog leads with the left, their amygdala is already active. Threat assessment is running. If they sniff, pause, lick their nose, and then begin to relax, that is the whole system completing a full cycle. Particles captured, transferred to Jacobson's organ, emotional signal processed, threat cleared. Now, watch what happens when you walk through the door. Watch which nostril engages first. In a dog with a strong bond to their owner, right nostril activity typically initiates before the threat system even activates. Your dog chemically recognizes you before they have fully raised their head. That is not loyalty. That is neuroscience built into their nose. If this is changing the way you see your dog, hit subscribe, because the science of how dogs actually experience the world goes much deeper than most people ever get to learn. 4. The one thing that quietly breaks this entire system. There is something most owners do without knowing it, and it degrades everything we just described. Synthetic fragrances. Perfume worn near your dog. Scented cleaning products used on floors and bedding. Plug-in air fresheners in rooms where your dog lives. These are not just adding scent to the environment, they are flooding your dog's olfactory system with chemical noise at a concentration their nose was never designed to handle. The mucus layer is calibrated for extraordinary sensitivity. It is built to isolate individual scent molecules at trace concentrations. When synthetic fragrance saturates the air, you are not introducing one additional scent. You are overloading every receptor at once. Chemical signatures that carry the most important information, your family scent profile, cues that activate the right nostril's comfort pathways, buried beneath the noise. Your dog may look completely normal, but their ability to read the world has been significantly reduced. Research has confirmed that strong synthetic fragrance compounds can temporarily suppress olfactory sensitivity in dogs, impairing the precision of the very system they depend on for emotional regulation, social processing, and safety assessment. This does not get talked about, but it is one of the most direct ways owners unknowingly interfere with how your dog experiences the world. This is not a reason to panic, but it is worth knowing. The wet nose, the mucus trap, the lick transfer to Jacobson's organ, the dual-channel scan, all of it depends on a nose that can actually function. Give your dog that, and you are giving them the full version of the world they were built to navigate. The next video goes even deeper into what your dog is telling you every day.